It's that time again, WrestleMania season, and with it, hallowed the halls of the WWE Hall of Fame beckon. Who deserves to be immortalized this year? Well, we've got 5 names that we think are absolutely essential for the class of 2025. Let's dig in. Now, keep in mind that this list, well, WWE may announce a few names that could be on our list, and credit to them for doing so. But if not, these are the names I think should absolutely go in. At number 5, Bam Bam Bigelow, a true giant of the ring, but with agility of a cruiserweight. Bam Bam Bigelow was a unique and unforgettable performer, from his iconic flame tattoo to his memorable feuds. He left a lasting impression on wrestling fans. His time in WWE, ECW, WCW, and more beyond solidified his status as a wrestling legend. Now it's time for the Beast from the East to be immortalized in the WWE Hall of Fame. I'm just saying, key points here: showcase his athleticism and versatility. He had multiple memorable feuds. His ECW championship reign was outstanding. It helped make RVD into a true main eventer. I'm telling y'all, don't sleep on Bam Bam Bigelow. He is definitely worthy of being in the WWE Hall of Fame and should be always included in the discussion of some of the best big men in the history of the business. That is Bam Bam Bigelow. Before, you had to get Demolition on this list, and I really do believe they will go in this year. They're under WWE Legends deals right now. I think it is just a matter of time. Heck, by the time that y'all hear this video, they could be announced for the Hall this year, and I think they should. Now, look, over the years, WWE has honored many of the truly great tag teams of all time. The Dudley Boys, Road Warriors, Funks, Harlem Heat, and more to come to mind. However, one team that has notably been left out for too long is Demolition. Throughout the late 80s and 90s, as Axe, Smash, and Crush were one of the most dominant trios in WWE history. Early on, Axe and Smash made history in their first reign when they held the WWE Tag Team titles for 478 days. They are a group that are more than deserving to be inducted at this point, and I'm really, really hopeful that 2025 will be that year and that they can get in there and take their rightful place in the WWE Hall of Fame. Number 3, Mickie James. How she's not in the Hall of Fame by now, I have no idea, but let's get this done because Mickie James is a bona fide living legend in pro wrestling. Her influence on pro wrestling is just as big as anyone else's. She's also consistently been an advocate for women's pro wrestling in various capacities. In addition to her influence, she's a highly decorated athlete and wrestler. She's a former champion in WWE and TNA, and she continues to help new generations as part of OVW or when she's in WWE or TNA, regardless. James is all about giving back to the business, so it's only fitting that WWE give her back with a little bit of respect, and doing so by inducting her into the WWE Hall of Fame. Her breakout feud in 2005 with Trish Stratus, although it was weird and very controversial, it was a really good feud. And if you take out the wackiness of it, I think it showcased more than anything the ability to tell a story by both Mickie and Trish and really back up what she's been able to do, or both what they've been able to do. And you also have to give her a lot of credit for going to TNA and helping that promotion on multiple occasions and being a true pioneer of this industry. She and Trish and all them talents, your Victorias and everything like that, they were in a time in which WWE did not prioritize wrestling for women, right? They were divas. TNA Knockouts division, they were on the forefront of change and revolution and evolution of the women's era. And I think you have to give them a ton of credit for doing so. And I think she should definitely go into the WWE Hall of Fame. At number 2, as we move it along, Psycho Sid. Now, unfortunately, Psycho Sid passed away in 2024 before he was able to be inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame in person. However, WWE should still honor what he did in the ring. Sid was a highly accomplished competitor throughout his career in WWE and WCW. In WWE, he managed to capture the WWE title on 2 occasions. He also got to work with Hogan at WrestleMania. He was also part of a notable duo with Shawn Michaels and everything else like that. In WCW, he won the WCW World Heavyweight title twice and WCW United States Championship once. From a big man standpoint, he is one of the best. I think he's actually one of the more underrated guys. I know younger fans, and I include myself in this. I'm 30, but um, I think we're more remembered. We remember him more for like those the botch promos of we're live, pal, or the confusing WCW promo on Thunder where like Kevin Nash was mocking him and stuff. Uh, you got I got a half a brain that you do and stuff like that. Like it's really bad. But if you go back and you watch a lot of his WWE stuff and early WCW stuff, like uh, you know, mid 90s and up, really, really good. Or the broken leg. Everyone remembers that from WCW, that god awful leg injury. But this guy was really, really good. And I think he needs to get a little bit more respect on his name than they usually do with Psycho Sid and just big men in general. But I think he's absolutely worthy of a Hall of Fame induction. And I'm hopeful that 2025 can turn that around. At number one, and this may be a little controversial, but I'm going to have it at Lex Luger. Let's kick off it with a man who truly embodied the 80s and 90s wrestling boom, Lex Luger. From his bodybuilder physique to his iconic Made in America bus tour, Lex Luger was a force to be reckoned with. His contributions to both WCW and WWE are undeniable, and his personal story of overcoming adversity makes it a true inspiration. It's time for the total package to take his rightful place in the WWE Hall of Fame. Think about this. He had a notable run in WWE, including the co-win of the 94 Royal Rumble. He's a former WCW World Heavyweight Champion. He's had to overcome a ton of his struggles in life, especially in latter years. He's also said that he would love to be inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame and is optimistic that it will happen eventually. He said that he'd dream of walking to the podium on his own if he's inducted, and that he would be thrilled to be named in the WWE Hall of Fame. I know he gets a bad rap because, like, look, I understand that he had a notable run in WWE. I know 94 was a very strong year, and they did the whole Lex Express tour bus, and they had him go around America, and he absolutely hated it, and they, got cold feet of putting the title on him at SummerSlam and yada, yada, yada. But, like, I remember him as an old school, like, late 80s, early 90s WCW, NWA kind of guy. I remember him, showing up on Monday Night Nitro, that infamous flip of the Mall of America, the debut of Monday Nitro. I remember that of Lex Luger. I really don't remember him from WWE. Now, he wasn't the greatest wrestler in the world. He wasn't the greatest promo in the world, but he did have it, and he had an unbelievable presence, and I think that has something to do with it. And the fact that he was booked as well as he was, I think WWE should absolutely put him into the WWE Hall of Fame this year. Looking at what we know as the recording of this video, keep that in mind, okay? They could add another one. But as of this recording of this video, so we have Michelle McCool, who is a welcome addition to the Hall of Fame. We also have Triple H, who is obviously a well-deserving name in the Hall of Fame. He's going to headline this class. I think he's going to do a very good job. I'm curious to see who inducts him. I think it's going to be Shawn. I actually think, though, that Stephanie should do it. I think she would absolutely crush it. Obviously, Vince is not going to do it, but I would expect Shawn to give him the introduction. I would expect Layla to introduce Michelle McCool. I think that'd be cool, the whole Lay Cool thing. Now, I will say this, and this may change by the time you hear this, but I know that WrestleVotes had reported that WWE was considering making a change to the Hall of Fame ceremony. Meltzer had a note in the Wrestling Observer newsletter talking about how they were looking at different venues and negotiating with cities. Regardless of what they do this year, I think going forward, you do need to make a change to the Hall of Fame because, the two-night WrestleManias have really thrown a wrench into WWE's plans, right? Used to, it was you had SmackDown on Tuesday or you had it on Thursday or Friday. Then you would have, the Hall of Fame Saturday night, and then you had Mania on Sunday. Well, you can't do that anymore. So what do? I think nowadays, you have SmackDown on Friday. They usually host the Hall of Fame ceremony after SmackDown. You do the Stand and Deliver PLE on Saturday afternoon. I have no problem with that. You have Mania that night, then you have Sunday Mania night. I think you put the Hall of Fame on Thursday night. Talent are already in town for the freaking WrestleMania week. They're already doing media. It gives someone to, people to do outside of just going to a bunch of indie shows. It gives, content creators and wrestling websites something to cover. Why not do that like that? So you have Hall of Fame Thursday, SmackDown Friday, NXT, WrestleMania, and then WrestleMania again, Monday Night Raw, NXT. You get the gist. I think that's what they should do. Let me know in the comments there below.